Vegan calcium sources for kids. 7 kid-friendly foods they'll actually eat. Finding reliable vegan calcium sources that your child will actually eat can feel like a full-time job. When you are raising a dairy-free or vegan child, the pressure to get it right is real, especially in a world that still insists cow's milk is the only path to strong bones. Add in picky eating, growth spurts, and endless conflicting advice, and it is completely normal to wonder whether your child is truly getting what they need. The good news is reassuring and empowering. Calcium does not belong to dairy. Calcium is a mineral that originates in the soil. Plants absorb it, and animals get it by eating those plants. According to the National Institutes of Health, children between the ages of 4 and 8 need about 1,000 milligrams of calcium per day, and that goal is entirely achievable on a well-planned, kid-friendly, plant-based diet, without supplements. Of course, knowing that kale is rich in calcium does not help much when your toddler refuses to let anything green touch their plate. That is why this guide focuses on practical, realistic foods, options that are familiar, tasty, and flexible enough to slide into meals your kids already enjoy. No dinner table battles required. Before worrying about whether your child is eating enough broccoli to rival a glass of milk, it helps to understand the actual numbers. Calcium needs change as kids grow, and they are often lower than dairy marketing campaigns would have us believe. Toddlers aged 1 to 3 need about 700 milligrams per day. Kids aged 4 to 8 need 1,000 milligrams. Preteens and teenagers need about 1,300 milligrams daily. These are targets, not daily perfection tests, and they can be met through a variety of foods over the course of a day. This brings us to the long-standing milk myth. Dairy has long been portrayed as a magical food group, essential for survival and bone strength. In reality, calcium is a nutrient, not a dairy product. While cow's milk is a common source, it is far from the only one. Fortified plant milks, tofu, beans, seeds, and vegetables can all deliver comparable amounts of calcium, often without the saturated fat found in whole dairy. The real goal is simple: hit the milligram target, no matter where it comes from. So how do you actually do that with kids? The easiest place to start is fortified plant milk. Swapping cow's milk for soy, almond, pea, or oat milk that has been fortified with calcium is often the simplest change you can make. Many of these milks contain 200 to 400 milligrams of calcium per cup, which can cover a third of a child's daily needs in one serving. Use vanilla-flavored versions in cereal, blend them into smoothies, or warm them up for hot cocoa. When mixed with familiar flavors, most kids never notice the difference. Just remember to shake the carton well, since calcium can settle at the bottom. Next up is calcium-set tofu, a true chameleon ingredient. Not all tofu is the same, so check the label for calcium sulfate. Firm calcium-set tofu can provide over 250 milligrams of calcium per half cup. Silken tofu blends seamlessly into smoothies or puddings, adding creaminess without altering flavor. For dinner, breaded tofu nuggets with a favorite dipping sauce often win over even skeptical eaters. For nut-free schools, sunflower seed butter works well too.
For kids who prefer to drink their nutrients, calcium-fortified orange juice can be a game changer. An 8-ounce glass can deliver up to 300 milligrams of calcium, comparable to milk. Serve it with breakfast or freeze it into popsicles for a sunny afternoon treat that feels like dessert but works like nutrition. Almond butter is another easy win. Almonds are naturally rich in calcium, and just 2 tablespoons of almond butter provide a modest boost along with healthy fats and protein. Apple slices dipped in almond butter are a classic, and ants on a log made with celery, almond butter, and raisins often turn snack time into playtime. For nut-free schools, sunflower seed butter works well too.
White beans may not sound exciting, but they are one of the most underrated vegan calcium sources. Navy beans, cannellini beans, and Great Northern beans have a mild flavor and creamy texture that make them easy to hide into pasta sauces, soups, or dairy-free mac and cheese to boost calcium without changing the taste your child already loves. Then there are chia seeds, tiny, powerful, and surprisingly fun. Just 2 tablespoons contain a significant amount of calcium, along with omega-3 fats and fiber. When soaked in sweetened plant milk overnight, they transform into chia pudding with a tapioca-like texture many kids enjoy. Add cocoa powder or fruit to make it feel like a treat. Finally, there is broccoli, the rare green many kids will accept. While leafy greens like kale and collards are calcium champions, broccoli is often more approachable. Its calcium is highly bioavailable, meaning the body absorbs it efficiently. Call them little trees, roast them until crispy, or serve them raw with a favorite dip to make them more inviting. Of course, calcium doesn't work alone. Vitamin D is essential for absorption. It's the key that unlocks calcium's ability to build strong bones. Sunlight helps, but diet matters too, especially in winter. Look for foods fortified with both calcium and vitamin D, like many plant milks and cereals. Mushrooms exposed to UV light are also a rare natural vegan source. The NIH recommends 600 IUs of vitamin D daily for children. It's also helpful to know about absorption blockers. Spinach, beet greens, and Swiss chard contain calcium, but they are also high in oxalates, which prevent absorption. That means your child may only absorb a small fraction of the calcium in spinach, compared to broccoli or kale. Spinach is still healthy, just don't rely on it as a primary calcium source. Magnesium and vitamin K also play supporting roles in bone health. A varied diet with nuts, seeds, and leafy greens typically covers these needs naturally, helping calcium do its job effectively. When you put it all together, meeting calcium needs can be surprisingly simple. A day might start with whole grain cereal and fortified plant milk, plus a small glass of calcium-fortified orange juice. Lunch could include an almond butter sandwich and dairy-free fortified yogurt. An afternoon snack of chocolate chia pudding adds another boost. Dinner might feature pasta with a creamy white bean sauce and a side of roasted broccoli trees. By the end of the day, your child can easily reach or exceed the recommended calcium intake without stress. Raising a child on a plant-based diet doesn't mean compromising on bone health. With thoughtful choices and familiar foods, vegan calcium sources can fully support growing bodies. You don't have to change everything at once. Start small, one swap, one new snack, one fortified drink. Over time, you're not just building strong bones, but also helping your child develop a lifelong appreciation for nourishing whole foods. For more details, click the link in the description to read the full guide on our blog. Thanks for watching.